This is Change Your Mindset Podcast, the podcast that helps change your life by helping change the mindset of the 99% into the 1% mindset. Here's your host, Adrian Gomez.
Welcome to Change Your Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Gomez. Right now in the United States, one of the biggest problems is at the border. All these illegal immigrants coming into the United States. There's a lot of issues going on. A lot of people do not approve. We do not feel safe for obvious reasons. You have people coming into the country. We have no idea who they are. We don't know if they are good people, just want to come and work, provide a better life for themselves, or these could be possibly criminals. And the most scariest one, what if they're a terrorist? We don't know. When illegal immigrants are at the border and come into the country, we get their basic information, and they're supposed to come back in 5 years to their court date. And then after that, they're released into the United States. And we have no idea where they're at since they don't have a permanent address where they can receive mail. So how are they supposed to be contacted? Unless they're good people and actually go back in 5 years to their court date. But the odds are not likely for that to happen. Why? So I'm going to give you some statistics of how many illegal immigrants have came into the country since 2010. And then you can think for yourself, is this a problem? Is this wrong? Is this an invasion? What is happening? So I'm going to give you the statistics. In 2010, 463,382 illegal immigrants came. 2011, 340,252. 2012, 364,768. 2013, 420,789. 2014, 486,651. 2015, 337,117. 2016, 415,816. 2017, 310,531. 2018, 404,142. 2019, 859,501. 2020, 405,036. 2021, 1,956,519. 2022, 2,766,582. 2023, 3,201,144. Those are the amount of illegal immigrants that have come into the United States. So going back to my points, within the last couple of years, these immigrants are supposed to come back in 5 years to their court dates. Since they don't have a primary residence where they will receive any mail, how are you supposed to contact these millions of illegal immigrants for their court dates? It's not possible. There's no way we're going to find all these millions of illegal immigrants in the United States. Now that they're here, they're going to disappear. And we have no idea where they will be or what they are doing. So think about it like this. Let's just say you live in a gated community and 10 people, small example, come to the front of the gated community and they don't even speak English, and they come to the front of the gate. The security guard lets them in and tells them, you need to come back to this gate in 5 days. So now they are released into this community of family homes, and we're not keeping track of them. So we have no idea what they are doing, and we have no way of contacting them to come back to the gate. That's basically what's happening in the United States. We're letting people in, we don't know where they're at, and we expect them to come back for their court cases. That's basically what's happening. And if you're in that gated community, do you feel safe? Are you scared because you don't know who these people are? They don't even speak English. You don't know what their intentions are. Are they there to commit harm? Are they peaceful? You don't know. And that's the unfortunate truth. I'm all for helping people. But the problem is they need to do it the right way, because it's not fair what's happening to the average American. It's already tough as it is living in America. The average American struggles financially. They have to pay their taxes, and they have to support their family, and they have to work. And I always support hard work. But the unfortunate thing is, while Americans are working hard and being a good citizen and paying their taxes, that tax money is going to these illegal immigrants, giving them shelter, food. This is where people's tax money is going. Your hard-earned money is going there, which I don't think is fair for hardworking Americans. Since August, there are officially more illegal immigrants arriving each month than there are children being born to American mothers, which is insane. Let's just go over, within the last couple of months, how some of these blue states have handled illegal immigrants and what's going on in those states. So let's start with California. So, California is the first state that started on January 1st, allowing all undocumented immigrants, regardless of age, will qualify for Medi-Cal, California's version of the federal Medicaid program for people with low incomes. And this is coming from ABC News. And I'm going to read you a little paragraph from the article. Quote, "It will cost the state over $6.5 billion annually to provide Medi-Cal to all undocumented immigrants, according to the most recent analysis by the Nonpartisan Legislative Analysis Office." End quote. He told ABC News in a statement, quote, "Given the fact that over 300,000 undocumented migrants have crossed into California at the Mexico border in 2023 alone, the costs for this program are only going to increase from here. If Democrat politicians are the responsible leaders they claim to be, they should work with Republicans to freeze the Medi-Cal expansion for undocumented immigrants while we balance the budget." End quote. So think about this. This, for illegal immigrants, is not free. Nothing is free. So where is this money coming from? This money is coming from Californian taxpayers' money. So people in California, your tax money is paying for illegal immigrants to have free Medi-Cal. Let's get into something that recently happened in California as well. So recently, a Chinese illegal immigrant who has lived here less than 5 years is now a San Francisco election commissioner. SB 225, signed by Gavin Newsom, allows residents of the state to hold appointed office without regard to their immigration status. That would include illegal immigrants. Just think about that. Let's just use common sense, because apparently nowadays, common sense isn't so common anymore. People like to think with their emotions than actual logic. That's an unfortunate truth in society nowadays. But if you're an illegal citizen and been in the country for less than 5 years, you should be allowed to be appointed to a high profile position in that country. Does that make any sense? Not somebody that was born in that country. Let's just give it to someone who shouldn't even be in this country because they're illegal. Makes no sense at all. A lot of things that are happening in the United States baffles me because it doesn't make any sense. It makes no logical sense at all. What happened to common sense? That's why I strongly believe sometimes I feel like they just want to destroy this country. Because none of this makes any sense. There's no pros, there's no positives that comes out of this. And then showing you what's happening in California, if any of this makes any sense. It doesn't. Instead of taking care of your own people, let's take care of other people that don't belong here, legally. I'm going to give you an example. Let's just say you have your kids. I don't know if people here listen to this podcast have kids or not. Let's just say, for example, you have your own kids. You have a daughter and a son. And then you have, let's just say, your friends' kids who you hardly see, maybe rarely ever see. What are you obligated to do? Are you obligated to take care of your own children, your own blood? Or are you obligated to take care of your friends' children who are not related to you, not blood related to you? Because this is exactly what's happening. In this example, the parents are not taking care of their own children. They are taking care of their friends' children. And they're neglecting their own children. This is just an example, but this is exactly what's happening in the United States. Instead of the people in this government taking care of the United States, Americans taking care of them first, they decide to take care of illegal immigrants, and they rather spend money in Ukraine instead of their own people. Their own people who are suffering from inflation, their own people that 60% of them are living paycheck to paycheck, instead of taking care of their own veterans who served this country and some who died for it, instead of helping hardworking Americans that are going through tough times and it's not their fault, instead of trying to help them, we help other people. So tell me, does that make any sense to you? Because that's exactly what's happening. And for that example, with parents taking care not their own, they're taking care of someone else's kids. Makes no logical sense. It doesn't. But that's an example of what's happening. So let's go to another state, another blue state. New York. They were at first very welcoming of illegal immigrants. Now they realize they're having a major problem with illegal immigrants and are trying to actually somewhat stop the process of them coming to New York. So the current mayor, Eric Adams, wants to home these illegal immigrants. So first thing, he's having them in shelters, airports, and now he is having illegal immigrants into high schools. So who does this affect? People that go to high school kids. Now he's putting them into schools, so who suffers now? High schoolers in America. Instead of getting an education, we decide to help illegal immigrants. So American education is not needed, apparently because illegal immigrants are more important. And not just that, he gave the option that New Yorkers should provide housing in their own homes, which is pretty crazy. So let's think about that. And he suggested that he would pay these New Yorkers to have these illegal immigrants stay at their house. Let's say a family that has kids. Are you willing to let an illegal immigrant, you have no idea who they are, you don't know their background, they don't even speak English, are you willing to let them sleep in your house or be around your kids? Do you feel safe having them in your house? Do you feel like they're going to rob you? Are they going to murder you? Are they going to get desperate and just try to take all your food and beat you up? Who knows? Yes, this is the worst case scenario. Who knows? They might be great people. But you gotta protect yourself nowadays because we live in a chaotic world. But those are possibilities, and people have to think about that. And that's the truth. And for a mayor to say something like that, to take care of illegal immigrants and his own people, blows my mind. And another thing that happened in New York approximately a month ago, which I think is very disgusting, is New York police officers getting beat up, getting kicked in the head, in the body, punched by illegal immigrants because these two cops were trying to detain one illegal immigrant. While they were trying to detain him, these other illegal immigrants decide to kick these officers. Just think about this. These illegal immigrants have no respect, have no fear of police officers. Then if cops are the ones that protect you and these people, criminals, illegal immigrants are beating up cops, And if they're not scared of them, what makes you think they won't go after the average American? And who's going to protect you if cops are getting beat up by illegal immigrants? If cops aren't even being protected? If there's no law and order, what makes you think the average American is safe if cops aren't even safe? That is a scary thought. That is something you have to think about. It's going to go down to the point you're going to have to protect yourself. And the worst thing about this part, it's already bad that these illegal immigrants are beat up New York City Police Department cops. But when they're released on bail days after, they come out to news media walking and they are pretty much flipping off the cameras. This is what it's come down to. Illegal immigrants not being held accountable and are being released after beating up cops and then come out with their head up high, flipping off America, flipping off the cameramen, which is basically flipping off America. That is the biggest disrespect. You can come to a country illegally, beat up their cops, and be released on bail with no charges, and you can just flip off the media, flip off the country that you're illegally in. Tell me, does that make any sense to you? Is that common sense? Would you go to any other country, let's say you go to China, for example, would you go there and start beating up their cops and feel like you're going to get away with it? No, that makes no sense. You would not do that in any country. But in America, you can do that, which is insane. And I think it's really disgusting how that even happened. So it never happened. And the last thing I'm going to go to is about illegal immigrants. It's in Denver, Colorado. So I'm going to let you take a listen to this video of a man who goes to Denver and interviews a couple of these illegal immigrants that are in Denver, Colorado. So take a listen.
Casi gratis aquí, ¿cierto? Gracias a Joe Biden.
Gracias al presidente, así es. Un buen presidente, tiene buen corazón.
With millions of migrants coming to America, many migrants are being moved to the city of Denver, Colorado. The surprise influx of migrants has put the city into a crisis, having racked up over $10 million in unpaid medical bills, and the city is projected to spend over $160 million to support migrants in the coming year. Migrants are receiving more benefits than American homeless citizens.
So I'm left out here to just fend for myself.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevan ahí en el hotel?
And all of these migrants love this one guy.
Él es el que nos está ayudando por Baire.
We are here in Denver, Colorado, and right behind me are hotels that are being used to house illegal immigrants, and we have talked to a few, and they're getting months worth of free rent here. Ricky T, what's going on here?
In Denver, Colorado, we've learned that the population is 700,000. 40,000 migrants are living right here in Denver.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevan aquí?
Yo por lo menos llegué el 18 de diciembre.
¿Pero han podido quedarse aquí en este hotel aquí?
Aquí en el Comfort.
¿Y por cuánto tiempo pueden quedarse?
Hasta el 13 de marzo nos están dando.
3 meses, básicamente. ¿Y le dan desayuno?
Nos dan solamente el desayuno y la cena. No nos dan almuerzo ni nada. Los niños por lo menos no les gusta la comida. A mi hijo no le gusta la comida.
I mean, just look at this place. It's literally just like everyone just hanging out. They got cars. ¿Y este es su auto aquí?
Sí, ese es mi auto.
¿Y cómo podrían conseguir un auto?
¿Cómo podríamos conseguir? Pues la verdad, con mucho esfuerzo hemos reunido para poder comprarnos el auto.
¿Y con papeles?
No, porque nosotros acá, el emigrante, pues somos como que un poco complicados con los papeles y esas cosas.
¿Pero pueden manejar sin papeles, sin licencia?
Sí, pues siempre y cuando con precaución, porque es que si no se maneja bien, pues tenemos problemas con la autoridad.
No license, no problem. They're able to get... They got a nice car too. They got a nice little Toyota.
So let's unravel what we just listened to. These illegal immigrants are getting taken care of more than the homeless people in Denver. These illegal immigrants are getting free hotel rooms for months, which is coming out of Denver taxpayers' money. And they are as well getting fed, again, taxpayer money. And also, these people have cars, which we have no idea how they're getting cars, and are driving illegally without a license, without insurance. But correct me if I'm wrong. Americans have to have insurance and a driver's license to drive a car. If not, they get a ticket. But if you're illegal, you don't have to have a driver's license or insurance. How does that make any sense? Baffling. And, like you said in an interview, these people that are coming into the country illegally are supporting President Biden. Because apparently President Biden lets legal immigrants come to this country and they get whatever they want for free. Must be nice, while the average American has to work and suffer and pay taxes for these tax money, which is not going to go to benefit their lives. It's going to go to provide free shelter, food, and medical to legal immigrants. If I was a legal immigrant, I'd be happy too. I'd be supporting Biden if I get everything for free in America and not have to pay for anything. I'd be happy with that. So the scary thing is, if they put into law where illegal immigrants can vote, all these millions of illegal immigrants that have came into the country in the last couple of years will either vote for Biden or vote for whichever Democratic candidate is running for president, which is scary. So if you like how this country has been ran the last couple of years, then you're probably enjoying this. You're probably happy about this. But if you don't like how this country has been, being involved in wars, with inflation, with crime, with immigration, then this probably scares you. Because now they have millions of more Democratic voters. But this is just my 2 cents. And the crazy thing, all this is happening in blue Democratic states. So, if you like seeing the fall of states and countries, this is what you get. I'm just giving you the hard facts. And this is why this is a huge issue right now in America. All these immigrants and the border. A lot of Americans don't feel safe. A lot of Americans are not happy where the hard-earned money is going. All the taxes they pay is going to illegal immigrants. None of this makes any sense. Like I said, common sense is not so common anymore. Do these blue states, these Democrats, want to see the United States of America fall? In my personal opinion, I believe so. Because all these agendas that are happening, all these policies, all these rules, all these laws do not benefit any American. They benefit other people outside of this country. Best way to destroy a country is from within. That's going to be for this podcast. As always, I truly appreciate every single one of you that takes the time out of your busy day to listen to what I have to say. Truly appreciate it. As always, thank you, Patreon member Blade262, for being a Patreon member and supporting the podcast. It truly does help the podcast grow. If you want to be a Patreon member, the link will be in the description below. And your support truly does help. As always as well, please subscribe, share, like, and comment on the podcast if you enjoyed it and found it beneficial. Thank you guys again. I wish you the best. Wish you a good future. And take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Change Your Mindset podcast. Be sure to tune in every week for a new episode. As always, change your mindset to change your life.